I was 32 when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that was in 2003 that I was diagnosed. And so long ago, I really felt alone. There was no one that I knew that was 32 years old that had a mastectomy. I didn't have the support groups that are available now, really. And I can remember there wasn't any books, so I wrote a book with my son, a picture book, because I couldn't find a picture book. And the internet had just started to evolve, but it just didn't have what I needed.
First of all, as with any young mom, it certainly is a surprise when you're diagnosed with breast cancer or any form of cancer. I'm hoping people realize really the gift that Cuddle My Kids brings to families that are in need.
We started as one program of offering in-home support to parents with cancer, and from there, being in the home gives us a rare opportunity that a lot of other organizations don't have to kind of develop like intimacy with the families, and you learn what their needs are, what additional needs they may have, and from that we have been able to develop other support programs to help families going through the cancer journey.
I knew from the day I met Scott that he was the one. And I always thought we were going to be this terrific duo together as parents.
We had been together for about 7 years, and I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her.
He was having some issues 2 summers ago. I was at work that day. He called me and said, "You have to come here." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "They just told me it's cancer."
A few months after Harrison was born, probably around December, January, Brooke started having back pains, and she would follow up with the doctor, and so just dismissed it as being a new mother.
It was a lot for him to handle, and we never really realized how very sick he was. And every time that he would say, "I don't feel good," or "I'm tired," I would say, "You have to get up. You have to keep fighting. Your children are watching."
When they did the surgery, I guess that's when they found out with the pathology that it was actually no longer desmoid. It was now sarcoma.
We were meeting with a surgeon to talk about how they had to remove the dead tumor. They mentioned at that time that they saw a spot on his liver.
So the mindset, when we found out that Brooke had cancer now, it changed things in our minds tremendously. There was fear, because now we have a child that we have to worry about too.
They came to us that a week after he had been there and said, "It is cancer, and it's no longer curative."
There was fear and anger. And then there was, "We're gonna beat this," and then there was hope, and then there was fight.
That Wednesday in July, I said, "I'm bringing him home. You need to discharge him." I could tell it was not going well. He never saw it coming. I never knew that was going to be the end.
She became paralyzed slowly over the last 2 months of her life, and I brought her home the last month of her life, where she was paralyzed, and she was full care, and I stopped working, and I took care of her the last month of her life in Harrison.
So that Thursday, July 13th, we got married here, and then he died 3 days later.
It's still kind of hard to believe that we're not fighting it anymore, because I still had hope to the last day.
He had a great bond with his children. I mean, his bond with Trevor was his little man, and Piper was his princess.
I miss her outlook in life. I miss her smell. I miss her touch. I miss her love. I miss her being mom. to Harrison.
So Cuddle My Kids was huge for us because it allowed somebody to come into the house and play with my daughter and give her this bright ray of sunshine throughout watching her dad be sick.
Judy and her partner would come, every week, give Brooke and I an hour and a half of time to do whatever we want with it. And usually it was just Brooke and I just taking a nap together and cuddling together and being together. And just spending that time together as a couple and giving Harrison the attention that he needed, that he didn't always get, because we were always fighting. We were always at the doctors, the hospital. We were always trying to figure out how we can keep Brooke alive. And Harrison didn't always get the attention. So they would come here and allow us to have that hour and a half time together, just to spend time and give Harrison what he needed was the attention. And it gives us the support that we didn't always have.
When Cuddle My Kids started in 2007, I think statistically, the numbers of parents being diagnosed with cancer were not as high as they are today. Over the course of, I think, even just in the last 5 years, I would say the number of families who have needed services through Cuddle My Kids has grown tremendously.
I can remember when I was in a grocery store years ago, after I had been in someone's home, and I was checking out the grocery store, and this little kid said, "Mom, there's Cuddle My Kids, there's Cuddle My Kids." And he said to his mom, "I remember when Cuddle My Kids came." So he never said, "I remember when you had cancer. I remember when Cuddle My Kids came to visit."
The mission of Cuddle My Kids is to provide free cancer support services to families in treatment. And the purpose of our programs is to provide moments of joy to each family member during this journey.